Live. VPR Radio. All right, here we go. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy VPR Radio Day. I'm excited as always. I'm here with my partner, the incredibly talented and handsome PJFMI. How are you, partner?
I'm all right. I'm feeling good. It's another bright Thursday. The sun's out. It's fall.
It is.
The leaves look beautiful where I'm at, and the drive's amazing up here. Just watching the change of scenery.
It is.
With
It's beautiful.
yeah, it's very scenic. How you feeling today, Kiana?
I'm feeling good. This has definitely come to be like my favorite day of the week, besides the weekend. So I always look forward to just feeling uplifted, no matter how my week is going. If it's dragging, I'm especially looking forward to it because I'm like, oh, at least tomorrow I'll be in such a great mood.
You know what it is. So all the people that tune into VPR, throughout the week, I'll come across so much topics, especially online, that me and Kiana would just text and talk about
Yes.
over the day. So when we get to VPR Thursdays and we can go over these topics and just open the floor to have an open conversation with our viewers,
Right.
nothing feels better than that. Shout out to the people that have been subscribing to our YouTube on VPR. Shout out to Flea Savage with all the artists that are dropping their music and are featuring VPR. We love all the support and we see all the tags that y'all been doing, and we really appreciate that, especially Facebook too. So thank you.
Yeah, that was a great video too, partner. I love that. I love the segments and featuring our artists. What I love about what we do is that we always promote the independent artists. We have been that way for years, even, in our past businesses. So when we came together, if you guys don't know, even when we were live in the studio, we only play independent music, and we get artists from all across the world. And like when FMI does his sets live, that's probably what I miss the most about the studio is your live sets. That energy is, you go in, partner, you go in, you keep
I
that
try.
going.
And VPR, for the people that do miss the live sex, if you want to hear my mixes, you could definitely head to Mixcloud and you can hear some of the unsigned music that I'm spinning out there every week. And we also feature them on our Spotify playlist. So look up the VPR Radio playlist featured by DJ FMI and Canada Goddess. You will see all the artists that I keep in my Serato that I'm spinning weekly at these clubs. So you could keep in tune.
That's right. And if you're an artist and you want to submit your music for consideration, you can either send it to our Dropbox, vpr.radio@gmail.com, or you can send us an email. Please don't just email us music, no title, no introduction, no nothing, because we don't know what to do with it. We're only going to feature an artist. Oh, and also, if you're not following us, please don't submit music for consideration. Like, consider it when you want consideration, okay?
Also, guys, so you guys have been chiming in all week with the Kanye madness that has been going on.
I knew it was coming, partner.
And on our Instagram page, and we've been cutting up videos. And so I want to start this discussion on Kanye and the whole Kanye situation. The post that's going to come up after we finish this live today, VPR, and this is for the people that are tuning in live. You get the little special sneak peek, but
if
the post that is the post that's going to come up after this live ends is who's canceling who. And I know we're live on a few platforms, but I don't think it is a question that we need to ask. So I understand the world painting Kanye as this madman that's harassing Kim. And if you looked at it for all of the years when it came to the Kim Kardashian family, they have always had a positive spin on the media, whether it be TMZ, no matter where they're being covered, people like to put them in a positive light. Even if the sex tape, it doesn't matter what she can do, they will spin it and put it in a positive light. So as far as Kanye, when he's arguing for his kids and arguing his truth, when people are arguing their truth, I can listen to it. I may not have to agree with all of it, but I can hear some of the points that he was saying in that Drink Champs interview with Nori. I sat down and I watched it, Kiana.
Yeah.
And I wanted to really dissect it so I could have a better talking point when we came on the show today. And when I'm watching the internet just get mad at him for some of his comments made toward George Floyd, which is due, comments, there's anti-Semitism remarks, which is due, but they have some truth to it.
Oh, yeah. There was a ton of truth to it. And I'd like to start this. I'd like to preface it by saying, do you remember when Kanye said that slavery was a choice?
Yeah.
Okay. No one canceled him then, right? So when he spoke out against something that was a sensitive topic toward the Black community, There was no backlash. There were no endorsements dropped. Nope. There were no deals that were canceled.
Nope.
So when we take it to Black Lives Matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they really? When you look at how quickly things can unravel the minute you speak about another.
Since you step out of line.
Another community.
And our community is spoken about all the time. You turn on Fox 5. Oh, look at minorities filling up jail cells, and we need bail reform. Yeah, you know what? We do need bail reform in New York. I think so. But why is it okay when it's presented by them? But that's my thing.
There are racially charged groups on Facebook. There are, KKK is still active. So even when it comes to like social media and him being canceled on social media and having his accounts removed and such, the level of censorship that they have gone to shut him down from speaking his truth and from speaking and allowing people to be able to really listen to it, or even if they don't believe it, just to be able to hear what he has to say is dumbfounding, because we literally had a president in office that used to make comments, aggressive and oppressive comments against people of color, against women. I mean, he was completely outrageous.
Grabbing people by their private areas. I say this online. People look at me weird. Our president says this online.
And he's still talking. I mean, he hasn't stopped talking. I think Twitter censored him once upon a time, and then he just started his own thing. But at the end of the day, he kept going and going and going. Why is it that when Kanye spoke out against one specific group of people, it was a backlash and labeled as anti-Semitic quickly? And number two, if the whole point is that we shouldn't say things against other communities that can be sensitive, why is it that it was not the same level of responsiveness?
Yeah. And my question, just to piggyback off yours, why is it okay when they profit off our music? Why is it okay when they profit off Black deaths? Why is it okay when an album drops, when the artist passes away, a postpartum album, they can profit off that? But when Kanye opens up his mouth to speak up on how they're profiting off of Blacks and Black businesses and the brands, it's an issue.
I just want to know what, and I know he said a lot of things, and I'm not even going to speak on them all because I didn't even get to see the entire interview. So, like, I'll be completely honest, and it was pulled off before I had a chance to.
Oh, it's still up there. The re-uploads are everywhere. YouTube is actually taking them down, but the re-uploads are everywhere. Yeah.
I'm going to go so we can actually chat about it in depth, because I definitely want to watch it all. It's 11:11. But the fact of the matter is that for that specific topic, not only has he said that, but we've spoken about that on our show with JD Mass.
Yeah, and that's and check out that JD Mass interview. It would definitely shed a lot of light, especially on what Kanye was talking about. You get it on Spotify, all places where you can stream. Please check that out.
Yes, the proof is in the pudding, Mac. I completely agree.
Yeah, so, and it's selective cancellation of certain entities, because look at Alex Jones. He was on there for 5 years speaking about Sandy Hook and how that didn't happen. And look what the parents did with him after 5 years of berating, and he's still going on. So what is it with Kanye that makes it so such a hot topic? That's my thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes I understand you have to shoot the messenger. He's not the perfect messenger. People can say that about Trump too, but they still find reasons they like Trump. And during the interview,
a huge amount of followers. Like, at the end of the day, let's not front. He's got people that follow him like to nauseum. You know what I mean? Like, he's got his following. They're not shutting down his message. Sometimes I play poker online and people will come and be like, F Biden, blah, blah, blah. Like, they'll just yell out random things. All right.
and that's where we are. That's where we are. It's just like, if you don't like what I like, screw you. You know what I mean? There's no middle ground anymore. Politics have really just threw a wrench in that.
Isn't freedom of speech the First Amendment?
Not for certain people.
Right.
And Kiana, just on a broader aspect of it, I just feel like a lot of platforms are afraid to speak about the situation. I mean, the topic with Kanye and what he addressed and what he was actually championing for, what he was actually going for, missing the message. And I feel like they, instead of instead of having this tough conversation about who profits off what, like he said during the interview, I don't see any Jewish people signed to black people. You look, no matter where you look around, from Balenciaga to this, to that, to that, to that. As soon as he made these comments, they cut ties with them. So it goes to show who's controlling a certain amount of money. You know what I mean? We could choose to ignore it. You want to go around with the status quo, then go ahead, be my guest. Be my guest. But it's never gonna change unless someone speaks out. And Kanye's not the best, but he was a billionaire, y'all. He went from what was it? 2 billion. He lost 2 billion in one day, and now he became a 400 millionaire. I ain't a pocket watcher, but
okay.
Lord.
I mean, but that's all allegedly as well, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't know what kind of money he may or may not be washing or have hidden in the Cayman Islands, and et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? What's liquid, what's not, what's invested, what's not. He's not a dumb person. I remember a story which was crazy to me because it just shows the level of selfishness, to be honest. But Kim was speaking in an interview about how a brand wanted her to do a post. I think we spoke about this before, for $1 million. And
Kim's in trouble right now for cryptocurrency. She did a pump and dump, and they're actually going after all those huge entertainers that were doing pump and dumps, and all the rappers are doing it. So she's going through that right now. She has to pay back a certain amount of money, a big amount of money.
Well, listen, I'll tell you this. She said the brand that wanted to work with her, that wanted her to do a post for $1 million, they often knocked off easy stuff. So she asked him, which is crazy to me, the fact that you would even consider it, right? But she asked him and he was like, no, I'd rather you not do it. So then a couple of days later, he like gave her $1 million or bought her stock shares or whatever. But like, he's an investor. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that he's out here just throwing his money everywhere. From what I hear, he's got land and all sorts of things going on. So when it comes to Kanye, first of all, everyone having all of these conversations and your ideas or whatever, it's fine and good. But I'm more concerned with so much more that's going on in the world, besides the fact that he's got more money than all of us. He went from a billionaire to a 400 millionaire. I'm still looking to be on that level. So I will take that 400 million. Happily, and like Jay-Z did.
And what kills me, I want to see if people are going to stand like solidarity with Kanye and still purchase some of his merch. You know what I mean? So let's see if Yeezy still sell without Adidas. Let's see if it sells without Gap. Powered by Balenciaga.
I heard someone that worked in Foot Locker, a DJ, say that they sent out an email like pull it all off the display and et cetera, et cetera. So as far as I know, like Marshalls, Burlington Clothes Factory, Century 21, if that's still around, that, you know, Yeezys will probably be like $49.99. But
hey, no. All I heard just now was the Yeezys that I got above my head in my closet right now. The price just went up. So if anybody want to buy them, I got some OG Yeezys now.
Nah, I wouldn't even sell them yet, partner. That's probably going to be an investment for you. You feel me? Like I would hold that for a couple of years. Hold that, put them in a box, don't let them get dusty. But let's bring on our first guest. I see that Moon has pulled up. I definitely can't wait to speak to her. So let's bring her up to the stream. Hi, Moon. How are you?
Good morning. It's morning, right? Yeah, good morning.
It's early, but ain't that
I like that. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Good. I love the hair.
Yeah, you know, I try to keep my swag different.
Okay.
You know, to switch it up every once in a while.
Just like your music. So I definitely want to talk about that. And let's just delve right in. I'm really curious to know when you realized that like you were talented, you were a singer, and how you got started.
Jeez. It was difficult for me to realize that, actually. I realized that when I was 21 years old. I come from a very musical family. So it's almost like if you were in a family and everybody played sports, my family, everybody did music. You didn't have a choice, you know. And of course, we started in the church, and my dad was the one who trained us vocally. So, I mean, we was on some Clark Sisters type stuff, like get up out the bed. I got this song. You need to learn everybody's part. And then you need to go and teach it to everybody in the choir. So
like on some Jacksons, right? Like,
right.
That's what I was saying in my head all the time. I'm thinking it right now.
But we started in the church, and in the church that I went to, in the youth choir that we were part of, we rehearsed like it was the military. Like you start at noon and you end at like 3 or 4. And you know, it was more so like, you know, every portion, everybody had to learn their parts, and then we had to sing. It was like stamina. You were taught how to use your vocals for long periods of time. how to present yourself in front of an audience. And so I got started that way. But my family is a very talented family. And I wasn't the one in the family with the voice. Believe it or not, I was the one who had the different voice. My older sister, everyone's like, oh, that's the next Tony Braxton. My brother, he sings, but he doesn't do it anymore. Then I actually have a little brother who lives out in Atlanta, who's an artist. His name is Pretty Rico Bands. And so I kind of was just kind of doing spoken word and stuff like that in the city. And someone heard me sing with my spoken word, and they were like, you should actually try to do that. And I said, I bet. Because for me, it's like, if it's anything artistic that I can try, I'll try it. I tried to rap, I tried to beatbox, I tried to paint, I tried anything artistic. I'm gonna give it a go, because you never know what may come from it. And when I started to discover my voice, it was my husband who actually was the one who said, nah, you got this, and people need to hear you. And I'm like, all right, bet.
I love the laid back, like, all right, bet, I got it. Well, let me ask you a question, because I love how you described, growing up. Do you feel like you initially moved away from music and toward more other creative ventures because you didn't want to feel that pressure that maybe you had felt in being, forcibly learning how to perform and have that stamina? You're like, all right, I can do it, but is that really what I wanted to do? It's like you had to let your soul come back to it.
Well, I've been a writer all my life. And so I really enjoyed creating stories and writing and putting that first. I didn't think about singing or anything, because I didn't think I was any good at it. And if you don't feel that you're confident in what you do, you're not going to put yourself out there to get played. And so for me, it was a confidence thing. It was you have to believe in yourself in order to do this. And I didn't get that until like I met my husband. Honestly, I didn't get it. And he wasn't trying to gas me up or nothing, but it was just like, I've never heard anything like you. Like, I've never heard that. And you need to, expand on that. And I'm like, hey, why not?
Hey, VPR. So I was on YouTube 2 days prior to this, and I actually ended up on your channel. And I seen your Tiny Desk submission. And I was at the gym. Mind you, I'm on the treadmill. I was like, let me listen to this. And I was like, this is amazing, because I already like Tiny Desk. And I was like, oh no, I couldn't wait to have you on the show. So what is your creative process like before going into the studio, before you record?
Sheesh. My creative process is a never-ending process. It never ends, because see, okay, what people have to understand is I'm a multifaceted type of person. I'm a polymath. You know what I'm saying? I do everything that I can do artistically. And so throughout the day, not only am I a wife, I'm a homeschool teacher. I teach my daughter. I got a daughter in high school. I got, I'm in business. I have like 2 side businesses on top of being an artist, and a part-time job. And so in between time, if an idea pops up in my head, I just type it out and put it to the side and save it for later. When it's time for me to go into the studio with my partner, my producing partner, Indigo Rose, like, he's a nut. He's crazy. And so the energy that he has matched with my energy, it just makes the studio just amazingly fun, because he talks like a 1970s pimp, you know what I'm saying? So, every time he see me, it's like, back, hey, back. I love it. He's like, so we gonna get in here and do this. And I'd be like, seriously? Tenderness, honey. So,
Where is he from?
He's from DC, and it's almost like we are 2 sides of the same coin. And a lot of times I'm like, oh, it's because of you I'm writing these sexy songs, because that's your energy. And he's like, but babe, you wrote some sexy songs on your own, so that's all you. I said, okay. So being in the studio with him is fun, because nothing is off limits. Nothing creatively now, nothing is off limits, because I may be humming something and I'm like, oh, that's funny. That's funny. And he's like, but it might work. Let's try it. And we go.
I love that. And I think when it comes to making music, you definitely need that sort of partnership because you guys can just kind of feed and throw things off of each other. Tell us about your latest project.
Well, I've been working on this project for quite some time, actually. I really have. And just trying to find the time to get it all put together. It's a concept project for me. Most of the songs that I already put out as singles are on this project. And a lot of these songs are very sexy, very liberating. And I was trying to figure out where it come from. Like, who is this woman I'm writing about? Because I don't know if it's me, but part of it, yeah, is in every woman. In every woman. But I'm like, this is a specific type of woman that I'm painting here. And so I've decided, to explore who that woman is more within this project. It gives me the freedom to show my sexy side, to show, my humorous side, because a lot of people think I'm mad serious. I don't know what that's about. But to be able to show that in my own way, because if you told me to be sexy, I wouldn't know how the hell to do that. But but just me being me in the way that I do it, it just kind of comes off as that,
Okay.
Right.
So Moon, I'm on your Spotify right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I see a song called Drinking Buddies.
Uh-huh.
Explain that song to me, please.
I wrote that song when I was at a bar. I went to a bar and I watched this situation happen. It was a girl that walked in, and the guy was sitting next to her, and it was like a very mutual conversation. They was talking about where they worked, who their spouses were, all of those things. Children, showing pictures of kids and everything. But after every shot, things started to get a little bit more loose, Be observing this thing. I'm like,
oh Lord,
what's finna happen
we over
here?
There, premium people watching while having a casual drink.
And so I was like, this will be interesting to see how this plays out. Now, when I took it back to my producing partner, I told him about what I saw, and we started to formulate. And he was like, oh, that happens every once in a while, And I was like, but what if we switched it around, as opposed to the fact that she leaves with him, that maybe she gains a sense of morality at the end and don't leave with him because she has a spouse.
That's right.
It's the drinking portion. It can happen to any of us. I mean,
right.
We married, we ain't dead, So you might find somebody you vibe with, and then it's all. The more you get that liquid courage in you, the more you start questioning your choices. And so, that's why I don't drink alcohol no more. I'm good.
I understand. Let me tell you something.
You got a story wrapped up, but I don't drink no more. I'm all right with that.
Right. But that's also why, there's men that will ask you out specifically. They'll be like, oh, can I take you out for a drink?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, me and dates anyway, FMI. It takes enough just to get me on a date.
Yeah, oh my God.
Let alone, like, you're not just going to take me for drinks. If that gives me the indicator that you just want to get me inebriated.
Right. Because your choices get real questionable when you get drunk. Like, real questionable. I mean, I ended up standing on bars singing. I'm telling you.
I normally end up buying more food than I need. I don't know. I get extra hungry.
That is crazy.
But I hear that.
But yeah, that's how that song came about. It was a really, really dope song. I really enjoyed creating that song, and a lot of the other tunes that I have created so far. It's been good. I mean, the project has been moving slow, but that's because, as you know, if I have two musical units that I'm balancing, and a lot of times when you try to force one to move in the direction that you want it to move, and the other one is just opening doors, like, here's the red carpet, there you go. So it's like I stopped trying to force which direction I need to go within my journey, and just surrender to whichever one at the time is requiring my attention. And so that's kind of where I am right now.
And VPR, just to say, being a musician myself, when you have to watch, other DJs or anybody in the same profession as you, and they're getting some limelight, you're not jaded to it, but you're seeing it and you're like, you know what? I got to focus on my path. I got to work a little bit harder so my light could shine as bright. And that's what I always say to myself. And we get lost in that because we're always chasing the next single. We're always chasing the next thing that excites us.
Absolutely.
As artists. And we get lost in it.
Absolutely. I do my best not to do that. I do my best to not worry about what everyone else is doing, because when I do that, I lose focus on what it is that I'm supposed to do. And then I'll start to question myself. I start to question, okay, why is it taking longer for me than it is for everybody else? This, that, and the third. And you start comparing yourself to other people who, in my opinion, is not on my level. And I don't mean that in a vainglorious way, but you're not on the level that I'm on when I think about the way that I do things. You see what I'm saying? I'm aware of my gift. I'm aware of my talent, but I believe in humility. I believe that once you decide that to let your ego take control, then you're on a downward spiral of ruining everything. And so I check myself daily, like dead ass. I be in the mirror on some old Kendrick Lamar, like, be humble.
Sit down.
That's my talk. When I feel like it's getting there, I would literally be in the mirror rapping that song.
That's right. Humility is such an important part, because like you said, when you start to let that ego take over, it goes every which way. And comparison is also very destructive and self-destructive. It
is, because you're not like anyone else. You're not like anyone else. You're not like anyone else. And no matter if people, swag still, do whatever, it's one of those things where it's like, you can never be me, because I am me and I shine differently. I'm not saying that you don't shine bright. I just shine differently.
That's right.
And so we can all respect each other as artists and respect each other's, flow. But, I had to learn how to do that, because I did feel left behind at one point. I did feel like, I'm not getting the support. Nobody understands what I'm doing. Nobody's checking for me. And when people started to check for me, I ain't trusted. Like, it's like, where were you? Another Kendrick Lamar joint. I'll be on some King Kunta. Like, where were you?
Right.
And so I make sure that the people who are around me are authentic. And the other people that, are the spectators, and there are watchers. There are people who stalk your stuff just to see what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it. And I always deal with all of that with grace and humility. I don't have time to be messy. I don't have time for that foolishness in my life. I don't. My goal is the art. It's like breathing to me. It's not like I'm not chasing the next single. I'm not chasing the next song. It's my life. I've been doing this ever since I was young. So this is my life. So if I'm not doing anything creative, I'm dying. That's just how I get down.
And VPR, this is the information that we love here. We have so many unsigned artists that tune in every week, and they message us and they tell me this, like, hey, I see what you guys are doing. I'm loving it. Right now, I'm having an issue putting out my records, and people get lost on their way to the bag or to their past. Say.
If people knew what artists go through just to get that song out, I mean, if you knew
I'm gonna say we're not even talking about radio play that you have to go and pay.
No,
all that. We're not even talking about Spotify. We're not even talking about the write-ups. We're not even getting into the business aspect of these. Even after the creativity ends, after the studio shuts off its lights, then the real work.
Real work comes in, and a lot of people have people to do that for them. I'm a one-stop shop. You see what I'm saying? I have PR and everything, but it's like for a long time, I did it all on my own because I could not trust other people to do it for me. I have that tribe now where I trust them with my art. But beforehand, I did not have that. And I didn't trust nobody to get stuff done the way that I needed it to get it done. And so I used to wait for people. I waited for people to do what they say that they were going to do. And I learned, you're not going to do what you say you're going to do. I can get it done. I'll get it done.
I think as entrepreneurs, that's why we're able to learn how to do so many different things. Not only does it empower us, but it gives us the ability to not have to be reliant on, other people, and we can do things in a timeline. So it speeds up the process. It just, it opens doors. So I know how hard it is to get a team, and I know who you have now.
Yeah, and it feels good. Oh my gosh, it feels good to be able to have someone that not only that you trust, but someone that is authentic. There's a sisterhood there. There's a there is a love there. Like, I got her back forever because I know she has my back. And then, we're going to help each other, because, for her company, I do artist development. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just you're going to represent me. I am going to pour back into what it is that you're trying to do as well, because I have that skill level. But it feels good to be able to breathe a little bit and go, I don't got to do that. Let somebody else do that. It's because I know that person got me. That's right. So that feels amazing.
Trust me, I can understand with my partner DJ FMI, like the synergy and how we work so well together. And it took a long time for me too to find that. So, it's like when you find that partner and you find your people that are your tribe and have your back, it feels good. Because I think in business, it can be more difficult and more timely to find. It's hard enough to find that in life, like in personal and socially.
Right.
Sometimes you can have that and still not have that in business because so many people are accustomed to competing against one another.
Right.
Instead of working together, like you said earlier, if you gave us all 3 different beats, we all write music, we all do music, we would write 3 completely different songs.
Exactly.
And I don't doubt that they would all be dope AF, but that's the thing about being a creator. We're all unique, and we love to celebrate that uniqueness.
And
exactly.
Go ahead, Kiana. You can finish.
No, I was just going to ask her, like, what's next? I know you've been performing all around. I've missed a couple of your shows, unfortunately, when you were in New York, but hopefully I'm able to make it out to the next one. So please tell us what's next for you, Moon.
Well, right now, I'm still putting the final touches on my solo project with this, and with the blues band. I also have a blues band called.
Would I be able to ask the name of the project? I gotta ask. I gotta get that VPR exclusive. I ain't gonna sit here and lie now.
Okay,
I gotta add,
exclusive.
Okay, because I've kept it under wraps, but the name of the project is Suge Avery.
Let's go. Suge Avery.
Yes, Suge Avery. Okay.
I'm here for it. A little background.
Y'all know Sexy Suge.
Yeah. So I've been, going back and forth about the name of the project, but that's the one that's just kind of stuck with me because that's the type of woman that I'm describing. She's, all of these things. And every woman got a little bit of Suge Avery in her. Let's just keep that real.
Absolutely.
And with the blues band, I have a blues band called Mama Moon and the Rump Shakers. And blues allows me to tap into my spiritual side, taps into the roots of the soil, from where I come from, my people come from in South Carolina. And so I really kind of go deep. It's a different look, a different energy, a different everything with that. And we recently, as of Sunday, we won the DC Blues Society Battle of the Bands. And so we will be competing in Memphis, Tennessee in January for the International Blues Challenge. Okay. And so
congratulations.
So we're preparing for Memphis. And it's just been a whirlwind. Like, since that happened on Sunday, it's just been like nonstop. So I'm just happy that I'm able to do my art. I'm happy that I'm able, and we're also recording with Mama Moon and the Rump Shakers as well. And that the title, the project is called White Magic Woman. So not black, white, because I'm about healing. I'm about love. I'm about, we ain't about that foolishness. So, so got 2 projects on deck, 2 different units, 2 different musical styles, and they will be coming soon.
VPR, like I said, I was on the YouTube earlier. That explains a lot. So I watched the Tiny Desk, and then I watched the other performances when you're on stage, and it was just like, I think you were doing your spoken word. And I was, at first I was just like, wait, am I hearing a song? I was watching you going off, and I was like, this is dope. So now I understand the other side of the coin with your music.
Yes,
so
and we have a YouTube page for Mama Moon and the Rump Shakers too, and you will see the difference as well with that, because when I do blues, it's gritty. So it's, everyone's like, you never lose your voice. And you got like, it's like a Etta James, Nina Simone, like this whole vibe. And, I'm always barefoot, always have my face painted, always got, the hats, when in the things. So it's a different portion of who I am as a person that I get to express through my music. So I always believe that the sacred and the profane coexist to make an equal person. And I get an opportunity to explore both of those sides with my music.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I love it. I can't wait to see you perform live. So please tell us before we get ready to bring on our next guest, what kind of advice do you have for artists that are like trying to find their way and trying to figure out their niche? Because we know that you're multifaceted. Mm-hmm. What would you suggest?
I would say just continue to do. Don't question it. Just do it. It's a lot of, well, someone else is doing that type of thing, but they're not you. People don't know what they want until you show them. Seriously, it's like they're not going to like my kind of music. They're not going to like my style. They don't know what they want until you show them. Period. That's it. Don't second guess yourself. You get on out there and you do what your heart is telling you to do. Don't try to catch up with nobody, and don't look behind you either. What didn't work back then, it's okay. It's done. It didn't work. You try something else, but you got to continue to move forward, because a lot of people, they give up. They give up. Don't give up because you're a mother. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that. Don't give up because of your children. Continue to go because of your children. Continue to work because of your children, because they're watching you.
Because they're going to see that, and they're depending on you to teach them.
Exactly. So a lot of people throw their dreams away because of adulting. Don't do that. Keep going. I did.
That's right.
I did. Y'all see my skin? Honey, I just turned 44. Come on now.
Okay. Now, did you just turn 44 in Libra season?
Libra season, October 21st.
Oh, it's a full Libra.
Yes. And I'm not ashamed to tell my age, because it's a thing where it's like, we still out here.
That's right. Oh, absolutely.
We still doing it. Shoot, I may be on anti-vibes, but I'm gonna still get mad. I can still drop a lump.
I'm loving it. VPR, the energy, the lead.
But yeah, just keep going, y'all. Don't give up if it's important to you. Don't let life get in the way, because sometimes that is your outlet.
VPR, you heard it from Moon herself. I stand by that. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So we appreciate you for coming on. We definitely look forward to having you back, and hopefully we'll be out to one of your shows here in New York very soon.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So we appreciate you, Moon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Ciao. Oh, gotta love it. Gotta love it. You guys, you can see scrolling. That's where you can follow her, Moon Newbill Music. All right. So go and check her out. That energy.
Yes. That energy was amazing. I was about to bring that up too. That Libra energy is elite. You can't escape it.
Come on.
Also, VPR, I got something on the top of my mind. I was on Instagram the other day, and I came across a post from Rich P, and he's one of the artists that we listen to on VPR. He's actually a part of the playlist, so go definitely check out Rich P. Yeah, but he had a post on, especially in our industry, the hip hop music industry, about information starving, and how many people do it in order to feel like they have one up on the next man, especially in New York. We're built off the crab in the barrel mentality, and information starving. You won't even be using your assets, but you're afraid for somebody else
to use it.
So you rather not even open your mouth.
I agree. I find it to be interesting. I mean, I think it's kind of a double-edged sword, because there are, like, specifically with me, let's give this example in business, right? sometimes people will call me up and they'll use the term like, I want to pick your brain. And that pick your brain really becomes like a business consultation. So it's like, okay, if this is my bread and butter and this is what I teach people to do, I'm not just going to give you these nuggets for free, right? But it's different from someone who's like, well, I know this and I know I could, how much we do for artists.
Yep.
I rode on the train an hour a couple of weeks ago on my way to PA to shoot these videos. And I gave this woman so much free business consultation because she's a local mom. And she was just taking notes. And now she's in a business program that I told her about. And I didn't charge her a dime. I did that for the love because I want to see her win. So I think when people are genuine like that, they'll never hold back. But I do think that there also do need to be boundaries in place because information is so free these days, right? I don't think there's really an excuse not to be able to learn things on your own, even if you feel like somebody's holding
Google
back.
Is right there.
Right
Google
there.
is right there, VPR.
And it's got so much information beyond, the fact that there's books and programs and apps and
master classes, but they're going to try to waste your time to you depending on the source. But
yes. There's so many resources that I think so even when information starving, and I do agree, like I've seen a lot of people
it's really ugly
that like, well, I can do this and I can do this, and I'm like, okay, well, how do you do it? Well, I'd have to do it this way.
Reach out to this one and that, but try to be vague with the explanation of how what activity is supposed to go on. I can get this done for you only if 1,300 touch, which I don't mind that. I'll pay whatever you have to pay, but let's hear the process, sir.
That's right. Especially if I need to know about the authenticity. Okay.
Be trying to gatekeep. You can't gatekeep in 2022, man. Nah. It's too much information out there.
Yeah. Information is free. So at the end of the day, even if you find yourself in a gatekeeping type of situation, there's too many resources. Follow people that are leaders in the industries that you're trying to be a leader in and ask them questions and follow their processes and go check out their master classes. And there's ebooks. There's just abundance of information.
Yeah. There's seminars you can even look for. Like if you definitely want to dive into a different industry. That's what I do in my free time. You know what I mean? I can never not sharpen my tools. So I'm never too good to go outside and learn. Also, Kiana, in the top of this hip hop news, I'm getting real. I really want him to stay out of the way. Who? And I'm not saying it in a negative way.
Are we back to Kanye?
Nah, not Kanye. It's my man Tory Lanez, bro.
Oh, he's back?
Yo, Tory. You gonna chop up
all of that, and now he's just playing low.
VPR, no. And that's what kills me. Tory, I'm not gonna say what happened with Meg. I wasn't there. Bullet fragments, her foot. She seemed to be twerking well. Right. She seems to be okay, making a bag. But Tory recently got caught up again. He was at a show like a week ago, and he put the pause on August Alstina.
No.
Yeah, and remember Tory's short. You know what I'm saying? Tory. Yes. You know what I'm saying? He's short. He like 5'3", 4" around here. Yeah. And he put the pause on him, and now they're bringing up charges on him. Now he's on house arrest because it's connected to his Meg Thee Stallion case, and they're painting him as a crazy ass individual. That shit sucks. You know what I mean? You should have left August alone. Let him have Jada Pinkett or whoever he has. Let him do what he got to do over there.
That's right. Let people be. Oh my God, I cannot FMI. You see why I stay offline?
Yeah, yo, I try to go on like 2 days before VPR. You know what I'm saying? Right. Make sure I tip my head outside. Like, what y'all crazy is doing out right now?
I know. That's what I feel like when I turn on the news or I turn on something to be able to do that. But let's definitely bring up our next guest, Vicky. And I have to take this call.
How you doing?
Hi, Vicky.
How you guys doing?
We're great. Give me 1 second. Go ahead, FMI.
So, Vicky, I have you here, and you're a music producer / DJ, co-creator of official, let me make sure I get this right, QSTV.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into it. Can you explain to me a little bit about what you do and how you maneuver through this industry?
Yeah. So, I'm a music producer. I started producing when I was like 16. Prior to that, I was playing drums since I was like 5. But I'm a little rusty now, so don't ask me, play some breakbeats and stuff like that. And then I kind of abandoned drums, but I still have a love. I mean, even what I learned with drums, I put into the music, with rhythm. Like rhythm is everything to me. Been producing since I was 16, and then DJing. I started DJing, say like 3-4 years ago, and just enjoy doing it and like discovering new music and you know, breaking new records and all types of great things.
It's a thing that DJ see when you talking from DJ to DJ, when you go in your crates and you
Oh.
find what they don't know they want to hear, but you got it though, and nobody else got that. You be like, look to the left and right.
I love
But
it.
they don't know they want to hear. That's
They
right.
don't know until you break it, and I think that's where DJing, like that's where it comes from, is breaking records. And it's kind of, I don't know, it seems like now it's like shifting to where it's just you want to play all the, you know, the popular stuff that everyone knows, and of course you play that. But what happened to playing all the new dope music that you find maybe from artists that might not be known like that? Like, what happened to that? So
you see, and Vicky, you know, just to tie it in New York City, because you know we're based out here. They want to hear what's on the radio, and at least at these clubs, and it's annoying. You know what I'm saying? New York got their sound, and it's all right, but at the same time, I guess it's really upon us to push the culture forward. We're trying to break some of these records. You know what I mean? So I love that we still have that in mind, even though we see what the industry is trying to make us do.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
I ain't listening to Future all night.
Thank you. There's more artists out there than just Future. You know what I mean? But so yeah, DJing, I love it. I always have fun just doing gigs and doing stuff like that. And then QSTV, it stands for Quality Sounds TV, and it's something that me and my brother Marcus Machado, which I think you guys interviewed him. That's my brother.
Oh,
and,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we started QSTV, and that was at the height of the pandemic when like we were on lockdown, nothing happening, and we were like, yo, we got to do something. I'm like, no one's doing shows, so what can we do? So a friend of ours, he has a club called Quantum in Gowanus, Brooklyn. And we told him like, yo, can we use your club to like just shoot different artists, like have them perform and then interview them and have it like a YouTube series, you know, like how like the music shows used to be back then. We used to have like, you know, like behind 106 in Park or Behind the Music, whatever like that. And
like
you know,
rap, in the basement, all that,
yeah, Rap Scene in the Basement, all these different shows, right? We were like, let's
music box.
YouTube, exactly.
Yeah.
Music box, Yo MTV Raps, all that stuff. We wanted to bring that back. So we started doing it, and we just started with our friends, Cold Crush, Sandy, Chad, New York Nick, Joe Blacks. We got a collective, and we were like, yo, let's like do this. So we got our little GoPro cameras, our iPhones, and like we kept it like real original because we didn't have much.
Pandemic made everybody get to work.
Yeah. Learn how to do the sound, the lights, and like made an actual show. So if you go on our YouTube channel, QSTV YouTube channel, you'll see tons of episodes of just different artists like we showcased. And then once everything started to reopen, we were like, let's start throwing events. So now till this day, we had got a partnership with Soul House and Pirate Studios, where like every month we throw events and just showcase music producers and DJs and different artists. It's called the Link Up. And yeah, it's been going great. It's taken off. People like follow along and come to events, and like, yeah, we just come across so many different creatives, and you know, just love continuing to showcase, you know, independent art, just like what you guys do. You guys interview independent artists. So we want to keep pushing that forward and you know, just put these different dope artists in different positions in different environments where they can be heard more and maybe, you know, get a new crowd, new audience, you know, to enjoy their music and be new followers and fans. So that's QSTV. Yep.
I love it. I mean, I think it's so important because outside of what, you know, not that commercial radio is what it once was even 10 or 15 years ago, but there's specific artists that are commercially pushed that you see all over and over again, that you see on Instagram, that you see, you know, on TV, that are going on tour. But there's so much talent, and even more talent than what we see on these stages, and, you know, so many different genres of music and stuff to explore. We were talking with Moon about, you know, uniqueness as an artist, and with independent artists, I think you can just really learn to appreciate that so much more, because just in New York, there's so many talented people, yet alone going to the DMV, hitting the South, and seeing how the sound shifts, and, you know, between blues and jazz and hip hop and pop and rock.
Yeah, it's so much that we come across all the time, and just my friends in general, like my peers, people that I'm surrounded by, they are like some of the most talented people that I know. Even producers, like we have a thing called the link up where we have all these different producers do beat sets and stuff like that. And I'm just like, the stuff that I hear, I'm like, yo, all these rappers, like, they gotta like, up to all these like different producers and stop using the same people. Cause I'm like, yo, if you want a different sound,
the
like,
newest trap beat. And then go off on it.
Yeah.
But, Vicky, so I'm looking at your Baby Girl EP.
Oh yeah.
Explain that to me. What's the thought process behind that? What's the creation process?
On the cover, that's my little sister, and the purpose.
I got the family busting right now. You know what? Shout out! I love it. VPR.
I know, right? That's dope.
I'm loving this.
Yeah, that's not even me. That's my little sister. But the point of that, and it's funny, my mom, she took that picture. That was when we took her to college. We dropped her off. This was, freshman year, her getting started, and she didn't want to go. That's why you see her face like
VPR. The picture is hilarious. I wish I could show y'all. I was trying to show y'all on the virtual screen. She got the only. It's hilarious.
She didn't want to go. But I was like, that's a perfect picture for a cover. I'm gonna use that for something. So the purpose of the album is just kind of like, it sonically represents her journey from high school going into college life and having to adjust to that. She's also like a basketball player, so she's a student athlete. So just that adjustment and her like navigating through college, that's kind of pretty much what the album represents. So that's why, on the cover, she's like, I don't want to go. Come on. If you have a nephew or a younger sibling, you've seen it. And
you've seen that.
You've all seen the face.
I have 6 children. I'm sure I've seen that face.
Yeah. If you have children, it's just like, okay.
Absolutely.
So that's what Baby Girl is about. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what upcoming projects are you working on right now? Or what club sets? It's Halloween. Are you in any clubs this weekend? Because both of us should be. Let's get our money out here.
Actually did a Halloween event at the Meatpacking District. It was like a couple days ago. It was great. It was like a family thing outside, like in Gansford place. And they just had kids, with the cute costumes and candy and face paint. And I was playing music and DJing for a little bit. And then it's funny, a lot of my other friends, they came in, was performing. My brother, he performed like later. So it was like a family affair. It was really dope. So I did that. And then, this new album, Casis World. So it's out now on Bandcamp, but it's going to drop everywhere November 4th. So that's the current project that I have like coming out, and this is like my debut album, so I'm like really excited.
I'm gonna say, how excited, Vic? Are we doing a release party? Am I getting a single? Am I getting a drop?
Yeah, you can. Come on, of course.
Okay.
I did the listening party. I did an immersive. It was like an immersive installation album listening party. So I did it at Zero Space. So I had all these crazy like visuals while the music was going. There's like a dome. You go inside the dome. I had different producers do beat sets. And then there's another space where I had like artists that were on the album, had them do their own sets and perform. So it was like a whole big like event that
I would love to come to this event and and cover it with Kiana under VPR if you guys would allow us. It sounds dope.
No, it was great. But the actual official release party is actually going to be at Soul House November 18th. It's going to be at the Chelsea location. So, of course, you guys get an invitation to come out. And I'll be performing songs off the album. And we're going to have like just guest producers and guest artists. And it's going to be just fun. So definitely you guys are invited November 18th. So, yeah.
We appreciate that. That is dope.
Yep.
I feel special, VPR. Vicky, I don't know if you're like any other DJ. I've finally gotten to the point now when I'm seeing other DJs, when I'm going out and I know I'm going to meet my other DJ friends, I'm like, you know what? Let me leave my laptop at home.
Oh.
For all the years I've been doing it, and they're going to be like, yo, bro, you want to hop on? I'm like, you know what? Normally I would, but I want you to shine.
Yeah, you do. I do that all the time. I do that all the time, seriously.
It's like, it's a bad habit, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I do that all the time. But so that's happening. But with the album, it sonically represents just my journey through COVID. So the good and the bad, you hear all that. So like with the bad, it's just that frustration of being locked in the house, but like having a lack of creativity, having like a block. At one time I had like a block where it's like, I can't come up with anything. I'm just really frustrated. But then also on TV, just seeing the death toll go up, having family and friends pass away from COVID, Of course, seeing our people slain in the streets, which is nothing new. We see it all the time, but having that during that moment and seeing that on TV too, like all this is taking a toll on me, like mentally. I'm like, this is like too much. This is like overwhelming. So that's like that frustration you'll hear in there. But then the good of starting QSTV, of finally being able to create this project, of finally being able to be free, being able to like go outside now, interact with your peoples, you know what I mean, and finally be able to like
and not worrying about, am I gonna die today, or am I gonna go back home and everybody gonna die because I went out today?
Right, exactly. Am I gonna bring death home? Right.
A suit, like a whole suit. Like I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, this is crazy. Like this is how the world is now. So you hear all of that, you know, all in one. So yeah, that's pretty much what Casis World represents, and pretty much I just wanted it to be something for people to take away from it. It's just to you know, you're gonna go through trials and tribulations, but to just keep going at what you're doing, and you're gonna be all right. You know, there's a light at the tunnel, and you got to get through this little hurdle, but you're gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be okay. So that was the point of me like creating this project. It was like therapy for me, but wanted to be therapeutic for, you know, other people out there too. Yeah.
I love that. I honestly feel like, and you're so right, you know, there were so many different levels of emotionality going on.
Yeah. And politics. And politics too.
And politics, social injustices, right? And then a whole pandemic on top of like new strains of the pandemic. So
inflation.
Come on. Finance, like
unemployment,
rent increase,
rent increases, all of that.
All the stuff on top of.
I feel like the world almost went through like a purge. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly feel like the coming out on the other side of it, all of us that have come out on the other side, like we are all here with such purpose and determination to really live out that purpose. Like that is what we need to do, is live out our purpose. So when I see the positivity and, you know, people that have endured things, but they're spreading their message with love and with joy to help others. I mean, that's what we're all about here on VPR. So it just feels good to me. This is why my favorite day of the week is Thursday.
There you go. Yeah.
So what's next? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Kelly.
What's next? Of course, pushing the album. It drops November 4th. I have a single that's going to be dropping off the album called Vacay. I'm gonna have like an animated lyric video for that one. So I can't wait to like release that. I'm really excited. And then in November, I can't say much, but I'm gonna be DJing on Broadway, and that's all I can say. So yeah, I'll be DJing on Broadway. And yeah, just more to come. So also me and my brother have a music production team called Mach 7 Music. So we have different projects out called Black Summer. It's like a whole compilation album of like different crazy rappers that are like fire, and we produced the whole album. So the next one, BS4, Black Summer Volume 4, will be dropping like soon. So that's another project that'll be coming out, and I can't wait for that one. Like I think this is like the best one out of all the other projects we've done. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
You heard it here first, VPR. You're gonna be on Broadway DJing. Getting exclusive. You got the album dropping November 4th on all platforms. You know how lit it's gonna be. And the 18th, make sure y'all pop out to her event that she will be performing live, guys. Make sure that you tell them where they could find you on social media.
Oh yeah, it's catch me on Instagram _CASIS_. And if you want to hear Casis World now before the whole world has it on their phone, you can just go to my Bandcamp. Of course, you know, people don't like to just, you know, if I say go to Google and search. So you can go to my Instagram and click the link in my bio, and you'll see my Bandcamp right there. Once you click on it, you can purchase and download the album and enjoy it before everybody else does. So yeah.
We love it. Exclusively. Absolutely great. Okay, we love all the Black girl magic that we've been getting here today.
Honestly.
My big sister Moon came on before, man. Her
energy is great. You guys have us so uplifted.
I love Moon.
And we love her too, and she's a Libra too, just like us. So you already know the energy was so great. Please, we love to leave everyone with an inspiring message, and we'd love for you to give us the final word of the day.
Stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. Follow your journey, your path. Do not follow these trends. because these trends are here and they are gone tomorrow. So don't follow it. Of course, it's a big thing. Oh yeah, I want to sound like this, or maybe I want to dress like this. But just stay in your lane. Be yourself, man. So do that. Stay in your lane. People will recognize it. They'll recognize that uniqueness, and they'll follow along to it. So stay in your lane. That's
Yeah.
it.
I'm with you 100% on that. Be authentically you, and let people that gravitate toward you do that. We appreciate you so much for being here, Vicky. Thank you so much.
All right, Vicky.
Yeah, it's been an honor for us as well. And of course, it's Thursday. It's VPR Radio. We love you guys for watching and tuning in. Please make sure, if you haven't watched, scroll on back, start from 11 so you can get back to Moon, and you can catch Vicky in the bottom half of the show. Please make sure that you share, and we will be back here next week. God bless everyone. Stay toxic free and stay dope.
Peace, y'all.
Later, guys.